Got my favorite bread pan out. I'm gonna spray it with olive oil and I'm gonna make a mixture. Fresh parsley out of my garden. It is so good when it's in season. Get rid of those stems and just give it a chop. You know how to do this. This will be a take on my Aunt Jay's recipe from our little family cookbook years ago. I'm gonna cheat and use frozen bread dough. I whacked off a piece of it, but I have, so I have two pieces. And I'm gonna cut this down, and it's called, I forget what it's called, buffet rye something or other, but I'm using white bread, just the frozen bread. I love this stuff. I'm gonna do this, and as you can see, I'm just gonna press it down and make little tiny, almost like pizza rounds, okay? So let me make a couple of those. I'm gonna make a butter type filling and layer these so it's like a pull apart bread. But I'm telling you, this flavor combo is so good. So let me finish that up. I also have some scallion. So we have really soft butter in the background there with my chopped up fresh parsley. Please use fresh. Don't even make it if you don't have the fresh this time, okay? And these are just green onions or scallions, as we like to call them, okay? So get those all chopped up. Now you want to mince this because it's going to bake in the bread, and you don't want big chunks of onion flavor too prominent. You just want the kiss flavor of the onions in there. So there's the butter, and it was room temperature. Look how soft. Okay. Now, how many scallions to put in? About half and half. Half parsley, half scallions. Give it a stir. I kind of can't do this holding it at the same time. So trust me, I'll just get this stirred up. And then back to these little discs. They were sticking on the board, so I don't know. I sprayed my hands, and maybe they'll cooperate a little better. But this is going to look weird, and it's going to look like there's a lot. But what I'm doing is I'm doing a take on her recipe. It certainly is not the same, except for this delicious filling. She uses those little long party ryes, they're called. They sell them in the deli. They're little tiny squares, and it's like a long piece of bread, and she puts this filling in between. I did a recipe video on that too. But I usually do this part inside the bread pan, like the bread pan would be right here, and I'm putting these little rounds in the bread pan as I go. But just for demo's sake, so you get the idea, I'll do that in a minute. But yeah, you stack them up inside vertically, of course, not like this, but let me just finish this thought here. Okay, stack, stack, stack. So there's a little bit in between each one. And then the end one I flip down so that's not as much filling. Now, I know this looks weird, but stick with me, guys. I try not to make things unless they're pretty delicious. We're gonna form this into a long cylinder like bread. Let me get this real quick so that they go in there. Not like a bread pan, like a baguette pan. Okay, now okay, pat that down. Get mad, baby. There we go. All right, so now I'm gonna let it rise a little bit, even though it is frozen bread dough. Here's the second one. I was gonna roll it in something and put Asiago and make it a totally different type, but I have this filling left, so I might as well use it, right? So I'll do this one a little bit different. All I'm gonna do is tuck a little bit of the filling in between each of the little slits. Let me just use my hands. Are you kidding me? You can kind of tell what you're doing sometimes by the feel of things. Like so, open it up, just shove some in there each time. And I'll continue doing that.
Jeepers.
I baked this and it looks fine here, but guess what? It looks a little burnt on top.
I kind of burnt.
Now, after this video was done making, because this is a voiceover, we tasted it. It pulls apart really nice, and it was so delicious that I don't know why it didn't taste like it was burnt at all, but it really wasn't. So I hope you'll try my little mixture and use frozen bread dough. What the heck? It makes for a delicious meal. There it was. I just wanted to show you how they go in the pan like that. And I made 2, so yum.